Hey guys, welcome back to another 5-Minute Friday. So today we're going to be planting seeds of a flower that I can't believe more people aren't talking about, and that is Salpiglossis. I planted these on a whim last year and I was blown away by how gorgeous they were and how little maintenance they required. I had planted them down in my lower west side garden and they started blooming for me in June, and they bloomed their heads off all the way through November. They are absolutely stunning. They actually almost look fake, like somebody took a little paintbrush and just painted little stained glass windows right at the base of my flower bed. Now, I did make the mistake of planting them too close to the front of my flower bed, and these do tend to grow a little bit taller. So this year I'm going to be making sure that I plant them a little bit further in the back. But because I became so obsessed with them, I actually purchased 6 different seed packets. Now, they don't come in a ton of different colors, but I want to talk you through exactly the varieties that I'm going to be planting. My dog is chewing his bone, so if you just heard a loud boom, it's because he dropped it and is expecting me to come pick it up for him. But I'm going to be talking you through all the facts about Salpiglossis, how to go ahead and sow them, what colors they come in, and everything that you're going to need to know. So come on, let's get started.
If you guys haven't grown Salpiglossis before, then you're definitely missing out. The first thing that you notice is the detail. Each flower has these deep velvety colors, either a rich burgundy or a deep plum, sometimes a soft blush pink or a golden yellow, even tones that are so dark that they almost look black. And then layered on top of that are these intricate veins, usually gold or contrasting in color, running through the petals like stained glass. No two flowers look exactly the same. You can plant a whole tray of these and every single bloom feels a little different. Some are bold and dramatic and others soft and more romantic. They have almost this antique, moody feel to them, but at the same time, they're incredibly vibrant in the garden. And if you grow a mix, you get this incredible blend of colors all in one space that feels layered and intentional without even really putting a whole lot of effort into it. All right, but enough about how pretty they are, because they're also really practical. They're known to be deer and rabbit resistant, which if you've ever walked outside and found your garden completely eaten overnight, you know how valuable that is. And they make incredible cut flowers. They hold up really well in arrangements, and they instantly elevate anything that you pair them with. They're not your typical beginner flower that everyone talks about, but they really should be, because once you grow them once, I guarantee you're going to grow them year after year. So here's how you grow them from seed. First, these seeds are tiny, so you don't want to bury them deep in the soil. They actually need light to germinate, so that means that you're just pressing them gently onto the surface. I'm starting mine in micro soil blocks, which I love because it makes transplanting easier and helps really strong root systems grow. If you want to learn more about soil blocking, I'll just link that in the description below. These really should be started about 8 to 10 weeks before your average last frost date, especially since they need a little bit of time to get established. But those of you who've been following me lately know that I've been running a little bit behind on my garden chores, and right now I'm only about 2 weeks out from my average last frost date, but that's okay. All that means is that these will bloom just a little bit later for me. They prefer cooler temperatures to germinate, so you don't need a heat mat for these. In fact, using too much heat will actually slow them down. So keep the soil lightly moist, not soaking wet, and give them some patience because they do take a little bit of time to sprout. Now, once they start growing, these are going to form upright stems and usually reach about 2 to 3 feet tall depending on the variety. They love full sun, but they can handle just a little bit of shade, especially during the hottest part of the day. And the more you cut them, the more they'll bloom. So don't be afraid to bring them inside because that actually encourages the plant to keep producing. And this is really the part that sold me because they bloom and they bloom and they bloom from early summer all the way to the first frost. That's months of color from one plant. So if you're looking for something a little different this year, something that feels a little bit more special every time you walk outside, plant these. Trust me, once you see them bloom, you're going to wonder why more people aren't talking about them.
Because these seeds are so small, I wasn't very exact in terms of planting 1 or 2 per micro soil block. I just kind of broadcast them all over. I'm going to be thinning out the seedlings as they start to grow anyway, which is a process that you need to be doing to make sure that you only have 1 or 2 seedlings growing. so that they don't compete for nutrients and space for their roots. So I'm going to be taking care of that later. The only thing that I have left to do is stick these under my grow lights and give them some time to start putting on some growth. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Also, let me know if you've ever grown these and if you've had success with them and love them as much as I do. If you have any questions on soil blocks, make sure to check out these videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.